Hello everybody. In this video we are going to talk about the law of sines. Law of sines is a part of our trigonometry unit where we are learning how to solve for missing sides and angles on all sorts of different triangles. When you are using law of sines, you can use it for any kind of triangle. It does not need to be a right triangle. So unlike SOHCAHTOA where you need a right triangle, law of sines will work whether you have a right triangle or not. The equation for law of sines is a proportion that looks like this. So you've got the sine of angle A over side length A equals the sine of angle B over side length B. And something that's important to know when you're setting this up is that angle A and side length A are always opposite from each other. Side length B and angle B are also opposite from each other, so they're across the triangle from each other. A couple other things that can be useful to know about that when you are comparing the sizes of those angles and side lengths, whatever your smallest angle is going to be opposite from your smallest side. So let's say in this picture that angle B is the smallest angle. That means that the side length B is going to be the smallest side. Okay, let's look at an example. So here is a triangle with a 33-degree angle and a 43-degree angle. And then we also know one side length. We know 73 is a side length, and we're going to try to solve for another side length. Now we're going to use law of sines for this one. Since we do not have a right triangle, law of sines is a good choice. In order to do law of sines, you have to have information about at least two of the angles and at least two of the side lengths. So even though x is one of our side lengths, that's still going to count as having information about two side lengths. If you think about the proportion, there's four things to fill in. There's an angle A, a side length A, an angle B, and a side length B, so you need four things. All right, so let's see if we can fill it in now. So let's start with that 43-degree angle. That 43-degree angle is opposite from x. So when I set up my proportion, I am going to put those together in the same fraction or the same ratio. So I've got sine of 43 over x. Then if I look at my 33-degree angle, that's opposite from the side that's 73. So I'm going to set those up on the other side of the proportion. So sine of 33 degrees over 73. Once I have everything set up, the next step is going to be to cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply diagonally here, x times the sine of 33, and then I'm also going to multiply the sine of 43 times 73. Now I usually, when I write these down, write the side length first, followed by the sine of the angle. I just think it's a little easier to type it in my calculator that way. So that's what I usually do, but you don't have to type it in that order. That's just my preference. To solve this equation, we're going to need to divide both sides of the equation by the sine of 33. So when you type this into your calculator, you're going to want to type in 73 times the sine of 43, and you want to make sure that you do that entire sine problem at once. Some of your calculators, a little tip here, something to watch out for, some of your calculators are going to automatically put this parentheses here. So it's important that you make sure that you have a parentheses on the other side of the 43 to match it. If you don't have an opening and a closing parentheses, it could mess up your answer that you're trying to get out of your calculator. So you're going to type in 73 times the sine of 43 and then divided by the sine of 33. When you do that, you should get an answer of 91.41. If we wanted to double check to make sure that that seems like a reasonable answer, what I usually do is take a look at my diagram. 33 degrees was my smaller angle. And so that means that I want it to be opposite from the smaller side. So 33 is smaller than 43, and that's opposite from 73, which is smaller than my answer that I got of 91.41. So that's a sign that I probably did a good job solving that. Let's look at a second example that's just a little bit more difficult at the beginning. If you look at this example, when we try to set up our problem, there's a little bit of an issue in that the side length x, we don't know the angle that's opposite from it. So what we're going to need to do first is see if we can figure out how big this missing angle is right here. So x is across from that missing angle there. So what we need to do is see if we can determine how big that angle is. We know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, so we can use that to find our angle. If we do 180, take off the 31 and take off the 35, we get 114. So now we should be ready to set up our problem. So we're going to do the sine of 114 over x. Then we're going to take a look at that 83, and it looks like 31 degrees is opposite from the 83. So the other side of our proportion is going to be the sine of 31 over 83. Again, we're going to cross multiply. So x times the sine of 31 is going to be equal to 83 times the sine of 114. To finish solving that, we're going to divide both sides by the sine of 31. And again, when you type this in your calculator, just be careful that you're making sure that you have an opening parentheses and a closing parentheses, especially around that 114. It's a good idea to have it for the 31 as well, but the 114 is pretty critical because it's right in the middle of the problem. If you solve this one, you should get 147.22. If we go to check to see if that answer is reasonable, the 31 degree angle was the smallest that we had, and that was opposite from 83, which means that if our angle's bigger, the 114 is bigger, it better be opposite from a bigger side than 83. And 147 is bigger than 22. Or I'm sorry, is bigger than 83. So when you're setting up law of sines, just make sure that you are looking at the angles and the side lengths that are opposite from each other. Set up your proportion, cross multiply, and you should get your answer.